hear something. Hello, 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 and
That's me
welcome
with the
to
heartbeat.
Beauty Pioneers. I heard something like a little
Yeah,
boosh, boosh,
that was
boosh, but I don't hear anything now. Welcome to Beauty Pioneers.
right.
I
See,
didn't do that.
I did
That
that.
must be something on my side, Dawn.
That's me.
Welcome to Beauty Pioneers.
That's me.
Are you touching something?
Yeah, that's me. That's me. That's me.
I got to laugh to keep on crying. Wait, you was the one touching the applause?
Yes,
I like that you okay, praise God.
right. So
But I can't hear you.
I don't know. I think it's on
Hopefully
your.
somebody will come in and tell us that they can hear you, but
I
I
think
can't hear
it's
you,
your.
Don.
It's on your end. It's on your side. It's on your
All right.
side.
So introduce. All right. So welcome everyone to Beauty Pioneers. We have another episode that we're going to talk about the do's and the don'ts of the beauty business world. Okay. And I am Coach Lee Hill. Donna, hit the applause. And we have the beautiful coach Don Ferguson.
Woo woo!
Oh, is this okay?
I
I'll
think
be
I don't
learning.
know.
So we're gonna we're gonna show you some videos, of course, and we're gonna go into that. I'm wondering if Don, you may have to. I don't understand why I can't hear you. I'm getting irritated now. Dang, everything going good. You could hit the buttons and everything. I ain't even got to work it. Dang.
I
So
don't
okay.
know.
Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna
Okay.
go ahead and start with the first film. Hold on. What the heck? Don, you messing with the layouts?
No, I'm not.
Oh Lord. Somebody take the thing from Don.
Oh
Don, let
Lord.
that go. That's the thing. Okay, go to the video you see. Go above that. You on backgrounds.
Okay.
Go above that.
Mhm.
You see the videos up there?
Mhm.
Okay. So go to the video. I'm just gonna let you have it. We just go but I can't hear you. That's the only thing. But you can go ahead and click on whatever you want to click on, Don. Go ahead. You
Oh
see
my
the
goodness.
videos?
I do.
Which one you want to start with?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No. Okay. I don't know here.
You want me to click on the video?
Um. Actually, I was trying to. Is that the video? Did I do it right?
Saying, if I'm paying you $250, that ain't enough gratitude?
I came to your shop. No. It's not even about that because I can almost guarantee you that this woman does not know the history of tipping. I bet you that she does not know the reason tipping even came about.
Tell us,
is
Sunset.
because during slavery, right after slavery, a lot of institutions and a lot of businesses did not want to hire black employees. So the only places that would hire us was restaurants, hotels, right? And places like these that required tipping. Why? Because the employers didn't wanted to take responsibility off of themselves to pay you as a black person because they still view you as a slave. Right. So what did they say? We're going to leave your payment, your paycheck, you being able to feed your family, we're going to leave that on the customers. Let the customers decide if you were good enough to them. Let the customers decide if you're going to be able to feed your family. Yeah. That is the origination of tip. So tipping, people put their lives on the line to literally make sure you're okay so that they can have something to take back home. So I can almost guarantee you that this sister did not understand the history of that. So I'm kind of disgusted when she even stated that.
All
Can
right, all right. I can't even hear that. So I'm wondering if it's my side. Give me one sec.
you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I always could hear you. I don't
Oh,
know. I don't know about that backdrop. I was trying to fix it, but the choices that they have here.
that was cute. That was cute. So this was about, that video was about, she was explaining how tips came about, which was, I didn't even know, I didn't even think about that ever, that tips for Black people or whatever was based on the fact that in slavery, they had us basically working for free and was like, if y'all want to give them some money, then
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And that is something. I never been into a place where, I think only one place, and that's like a not beauty supply, but like the Regis, where a hairstylist complain about not getting tips or whatnot. I never really like got into it because I was always like working, so I add my tips up at the end of the day or whatnot. But I do believe that people should tip. I think it's only, I can't say it's only in our community, because I remember one time I had a I don't want to say her name, but she's a high profile celebrity, and I was doing her publicist hair, and she was a Caucasian woman, and I was doing her hair, and she had money, and I did a lot. I had to color, highlight, and then cut. And she had like that Afro-y type hair done.
Mm-hmm.
And when I finished all that, it probably, I want to say it was about 3 hours. That lady tipped $2. And I was like, and that was a high-end salon. So I definitely cannot say that that is just our community that do things like that. That's just people all around. They don't understand that people live off of their tips. Now, I can tell you this, I do not like when I go get me some Starbucks and they put the thing out and say, oh, you got to press whatever those buttons first. It's asking for a tip. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like doing that. I'd be like, I don't like when they do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you want to put $1, $2. You ain't did nothing but go grab the food. They don't do that at McDonald's or whatever. So I wonder in my mind, as when I do that, I'll still tip them. But in my mind, I'm like, I wonder, is that how people feel when we're doing hair or makeup or lashes or whatever? Do they feel like, child, I just paid you all this money, so why I gotta tip you? You think that's what's going on, Don? What's the do's and don'ts to that?
When it comes to tipping, tipping is a class thing.
Mm,
Okay, and it's based on service. So, I mean, it has elevated, I think, to um, some places don't tip. They don't accept tips, right?
mm-hmm.
I think it's a personal choice in terms of tipping.
Right.
When, of course, I tip when I go to a restaurant, right? Because
Mm-hmm. Right.
that's common. Okay, it's based on your service.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, when it comes to doing hair, I think tips are nice. I've gotten tips, $100 tips. I get tips and gifts. I'm not saying,
Yeah, you be getting some nice bags,
yes, I'm not saying that that tips are not I'm not grateful for them, right?
but you don't be looking
Um
for it.
Yeah, I don't look for it. Like, so if a customer doesn't tip me, I don't say, "Oh, she didn't tip me," right?
Right. Right.
Because I provided her a service and it was in my cost, not the tip, right?
Mm-hmm.
The tip is her saying, "I really appreciate you. I have a little extra here," right? Okay,
Right.
because remember, the tip is extra. Not everybody has extra or additional to pay. We went out to dinner the other night and they added a 20% gratuity in the tip, plus, in the order, I mean, on the bill, and then they were asking for an additional tip.
Wait, how many
Right?
people was it?
It wasn't it
It
was it
wasn't
was
8 people.
it was actually, this happened twice. One was just our family, and then it was an actual event, which
Okay.
which I understand when it's a large party, because they normally do a automatic 20% with large parties, 6 or more,
Mm-hmm.
right? They
Right.
they include the they include the tip because as a culture, Black folks don't believe in tipping. I don't know if it started from that or us knowing that where the tip originated from. I've never heard of that. That's my first time even hearing of how tips even originated, the
Uh-huh.
origin of tips. So for me, I welcome it. I thank you for my tip, but it's not expected, because the price is the price. The price is based on the service, it's based on the travel. You know what I'm saying? That's it's just the price. I don't look for a tip. I
Right.
look to get paid for my services.
I actually be shocked because, especially if
Hmm.
it's a big bill, like it's a hair
Hmm.
replacement or something like that. And I'm like, they'll say, "Oh, I wanted to," because they be so excited about their hair or whatever.
Hmm.
So I really do. I'm like you, like with that. I think that that's the dues. Like, don't look for it. Don't be expecting it. Some people I remember in the Regis and them little smart styles. Those people live off those tips. That's like, oh, that's my gas money and all.
Hmm.
That's different things. But I say don't expect it because I think that's more of a blessing. You know
And
what I'm saying?
they treat customers bad because they don't tip.
Right.
Oh, it's like I don't want to service these Black people that's coming in here because they don't tip. And
Right.
that's a known thing. Like, that's why we get such horrible service because we don't tip. So my thing is we live in a service industry, but
Right.
I think the bigger the bill, a lot of people are like the bill itself is so high.
Right.
What extra tip do you want? Like the tip isn't included. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm getting extensions and my extensions are $3,500,
I mean,
right? You can't
right.
possibly, you know. Well, I wouldn't be expecting a tip at
Right.
$3,500. Honestly, I just would not be expecting a tip.
Right.
But the person that is paying $3,500 for a service or a beauty service,
Mm-hmm.
they tip.
Except.
It all depends. Some people they really appreciate that's their way. Hey, this is for you because I know what the salon is gonna get.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Right.
Okay, so the
Right.
salon is probably, you're gonna get XYZ, but this $100 right here is for you. I had a client fly me in. She had booked my flight, my return flight and everything. She flew me in to
Mm-hmm.
do her hair and she ordered a car to take me back to the airport. And I
Right.
told her, no, my sister's is here and my
Mm-hmm.
sister's going to pick me up and I'm just going to hang out with her for a little while and then I'll go to the airport. And she said, oh, well, here's the money I was going to spend on the car. And she gave me the money for the car.
Okay.
And I was like, are you sure? She was like, yeah. But, I woke her up because she had overslept. She had taken a little nap. She had just came in from a flight. She was
Mm-hmm.
going in for an awards ceremony. I
Mm-hmm.
did her hair and her makeup, and she just laid down. She had a couple hours, and she had set the time. She's like, I got to be up at such and such a time. And I know how it is flying.
Mm.
And it was like, and she would not get up. And I was just sitting, I was like, do I go wake her up? What do I do? And I was like, bitch, if you make her late, you ain't gonna get paid. This gonna have some serious problems. So you better go in here and
That
wake her up. So I
that's
said,
your last time.
yeah, I said, excuse me. It's such and such a time. And when I told her the time, she leaped up out that bed and she's like,
Mm.
oh, thank you so much. She was rushing, but she would have slept through. And it was an award ceremony where she was
Right.
being honored. She was being honored. So we formed a great relationship. She was like, can I fly you into LA? And she couldn't, of course, because I wasn't a part of the union. And
Right.
you could only work, on sets and stuff like that only if you're in the union.
That's
So, but it was a wonderful experience. And she was referred from a client of mine who didn't tip. She was cheap as shit, but
yeah. I was
you know what I'm
this
saying?
lady.
So,
Oh, this lady was riding the coattail of this sister because this sister is like really big, and I'm like,
yeah.
they were like, Lee, make sure you take her treated good and blah blah blah. And I did. And when that $2 tip, she said, here you go. She had it folded up. I was like,
Mhm.
Now I know, you know what I'm saying? But to be honest, it was just weird that it came from her. It wasn't me expecting it because I had other people in the book, so I was fine.
Mhm.
I just was shocked that that was like my first time being in a high-end salon and meeting somebody that may have a lot of money, but cheap as I don't know what. And you know what I'm saying? And you're right. I think that, like I said, it's class act. I think that you shouldn't be expecting anything, but when
Mhm.
they do, I think that's the right mindset to have because you know what, like you got a bag. I forgot you got a couple of bags.
Mhm.
Um, and I know you was like, oh my God, I didn't even expect that. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
The client loved the reaction because it's a genuine reaction because you really weren't expecting anything. And unfortunately, in our world, we have a lot of stylists that have a sense of entitlement, right? And so they have a sense of entitlement, and they keep getting the strings crossed where they're thinking about the fact that, oh, I'm a hairstylist and you came to me and I do this great work. So because that goes off, I'm sure a lot of people don't tip, or probably they tip the bare minimum because of the attitude. So that's a good way. What's the next one we watching, Don?
I was still a quick story. I was in beauty school
Uh-huh.
and I did my client's hair and her cut, and I put her under the dryer. But on the ticket, she was scheduled for a manicure, and I forgot. Right, so I
Mm-hmm.
went on lunch break, and I got back, and she was like, someone else was doing her manicure because I forgot. And you know, when it was time for her to pay and leave, she tipped me a quarter, 25 cents.
Woo!
So it was so funny. I was like, okay, maybe I
Right.
remember the next time. I was like, oh, girl, she always do that. She tipped me like $1 the other day. So you got a quarter, great. You know what I mean? So it was a running joke amongst us, amongst the students, that she doesn't tip more than $1.
Mm-hmm. Now,
So yeah, but
and
it was quite interesting.
it makes sense. Like I remember now getting into that too, as far as like how people come in, they had to sew in, they had to sew in too long, and you got to take it
Mhm.
out and you got to untangle it and all this stuff or whatever. And I have seen where I think it may have happened to me one time, and then I nipped that in the bud. I was like, "You gonna have to take your hair down. You're gonna have to take your hair down, or you can come in but it's gonna be a fee because it's like it took me. I started realizing it's taking me an hour because you sew the hair in so good. These people don't. The clients don't want to take the hair out. They're like, I can go another month, and then the hair all matted in. The what's the thing, Don? The what we use to sew is all entangled in it, and
The thread.
yeah, the thread is all
Mhm.
matted, and then they want to say it's a lot. It's a
Mhm.
lot. So and if you don't, now this is where I do understand hairstylists doing that. If you don't, they will they won't tip you. They'll be like, I mean, that's part of it. And then you got your other clients sitting there waiting, looking at you like, and I'm one of them people, I do not like my clients to wait. That's my money waiting. I don't like my clients to wait. Those are my friends and things like that. So I was like, no, I got to charge you a fee for that. And then I need to know. And then so I started looking at how long they had it in. And I'm like, are you taking it out? Or you want me to take it? I want you to take it out. Okay, this is what it is. And then I could be able to book accordingly. You know what I mean? But that thing
Mhm.
started to get it a headache. But a quarter, Dime.
A quarter.
Well, let's go to the next video. What do you got for me?
Um, where are the videos?
Mm.
Oh,
Above background.
I
Above it.
see 'em. Okay, let's see what
So
this.
I've been working in a commission salon for about a month now, and y'all, the girls are missing out on so much by running to get a salon suite out of school instead of running to these salons. Let me tell y'all. Well, the first thing, you get the full experience without the full weight of being a business owner. I don't think people really understand the amount of work, not only that, but the amount of money that goes into running your own business. And fresh out of school, you just need to be worrying about building up those skills Focus on getting experience, picking up as much as you possibly can, all while getting paid to do so. Now, of course, this is going to depend on the salon, but it's okay to be picky until you find the right fit. Number two, I feel like it forces you to learn client retention because it's easy to get clients in the door. But how often are these people coming back, and how often are these people requesting you specifically? I'm not behind the chair yet, but I have picked up on a few things from somebody in there that is highly requested. And last but not least, you're around different stylists that have been doing it for a different amount of years, that are skilled in different areas, and you can pick up so much from different people. Because I definitely skipped the salon route. I skipped the school route. I went straight into braiding, then went to school, and now I'm in a commission salon. So, like, my path looks a little different. So I'm like, let me start sharing a little bit more with y'all. And yeah, let me know if y'all have any questions, though, okay? Bye.
I think that's a do video.
A Duke video? Because we
Yeah,
talked
like
about that before.
it's the do's or the don'ts. What you
Oh,
say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a do video because she made it so clear. I love the fact that she was, you could tell she was young into it or whatnot, and she was like, she was telling you the benefits of being in a salon and all of the things that she got from it. You know what I mean? Instead of a lot of these stylists that are, saying, "Hey, I'm going to do the salon suites and I'm going to go that route." And I have found a lot of I think you told me that you did booth rent salon, right? You did booth rent. You did booth rent and commission, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I remember when I was coming up in the beauty world, I liked the commission based salon because there was no cap for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that in our community, not all, but some of our people, they feel like, oh no, they're gonna get 30% of my money. They're looking at it that way instead of looking at all the benefits that it has that you don't have to worry about. Versus when you're in a booth rental, that you're responsible for everything, your marketing, your products, you know what I mean? Your continuing education. You're lucky if you go into a salon like yours where they offer continuing education because typically a lot I didn't have continuing education when I was in a booth rental situation. I was in that I think twice in my career. And so I think that we have to look at the benefits of that because then you won't run into people. A lot of times, you know how clients be like, my hair was fried, or my she messed my color up, or she used this. A lot of times I have seen where hairstylists don't have a product, but they want that service. They're like, oh, yes, I could do it. And then in the back, and they trying to figure out how they gonna get this color or how they gonna do whatever to get this client what they need so they can get that money real quick because they look at it as fast money hungry. I call them money hungry hairstylists. And so a lot of the reason why I'm saying this is because I think a lot of hairstylists would benefit, especially coming out of beauty school, would benefit in going into a commission based salon. That's just my thing. I don't think a lot of them come out because, like I said, they had a clientele and they're like, oh, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna jump into this way. But when you're in a commission-based salon, you get to see how a salon is ran. You get to understand the ins and out, the business side as well, and what you need to do to offer to have the best stylist in order for you to have $1 million salon or a high-end salon where people want to come because the work is impeccable, the stylist, their look, because that's another thing. You can't go in there just any kind of way. So I think it more so benefits you when you go into the commission-based salon, and especially when you're starting out, because you're going to learn all the good habits. Make sure your hair is done, make sure your makeup is done, make sure your clothes, you're clothed correctly and whatnot. Don, you have any words?
When it comes to um where you start coming out of school is
Mm-hmm.
you should have a mentor,
Mm.
right? Mentors are key in your overall growth as a stylist. You know, if you're interested in evolving, a lot of times we can't evolve past the trend because we jumped in on the trend and we don't have necessarily a foundation or something that will allow us to pivot into the next form.
Mm-hmm.
When you don't have structure, it's hard to pivot into
Right.
what's next for you because there's no structure. You came in on the trend. You came in and the reality is you have to you have to know how to do real hair. So if you jumped in on a trend in terms of the aesthetics of extensions, then you're going to always fall by the wayside because although those clients that wear weaves, they are going to forever be weave wearers, right?
Right. Right.
So they're going to transition into the next thing. So at some point, they're going to realize that their hair is weak, is damaged. They're going to begin to see the results of wearing an install
Mm-hmm.
because you have not offered them any other services such as treatment, such as conditioning, such as an alternative hairstyle outside of the weave. You know, you haven't offered them anything else. So the end result of that is going to be breakage, and then they're going to eventually switch over into something else because the consumer is going to say, hey, this is not working. My hair is coming out. This is that, and the next is coming out. And if you can't offer them repair or solution to that, then they're going to find something else. So then that's how your business begins to dwindle and drop off because you have nothing else to offer the client outside of that trend. So you have to focus on the real stuff, which is real hair. So how can she's wearing this weave because it works for her. It's low maintenance. So this is why she's into the weave.
Right.
So okay, her lifestyle requires her to wear this weave, but you have to get her in, right? Uh you can't have her saying, well, I'm going to leave this in 6 months. No, you can't tell her this install is going to last her a month
Mm-hmm.
because she's in it 5 months because you told her it's going to last a month, which it
Right.
can't. Right? That's why she's in it for 5 months because you didn't tell her that she needed to come in and have her hair treated while she was wearing this install. You didn't tell her that this install can't stay in any longer than 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
4 weeks is your maximum time for this install. And in the meantime, you need to come in so we can cleanse your scalp and get any buildup and bacteria off the scalp so you could your scalp can remain in the healthiest state while you are in this particular install. So this is where we end up losing we can't pivot to that next level because we don't understand the science. We're just working on the aesthetics of the wig. Okay. The lady needs treatment underneath there. She needs to see you every single week. She needs to come in every single week to get this product and build up off her hair. It's affecting her health. So if you're not wise enough to educate the consumer, this is why you end up losing. So there's nothing to build off in a single sweep.
Right.
So now you're here, it's the summer, it's slow. Where are the clients? Why are your clients wearing braids? They tell you, oh no, I'm coming out of this weave and I'm gonna put some braids in my hair. Okay, if you wear the braids, what are you doing with your hair? You're going to have to get treatments. So
Right.
each time we did weed extensions, they came in for treatments. We saw them every week, every 2 weeks. It's time to take this install out. You know, no, I'm not bonding that track back down. It's loose. It's, you got a quick weave. I used to add the tracks in and they be like, oh no, just give me a shampoo and I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to take this out. Just tack this back down. No, that's not going to work. This needs to come out. You
Don,
know, hmm
that's a good point that you talking about as far as you needed treatments and how long it needs to go for 4 weeks. So that also points out, if you have a client that is constantly, like you said, getting hair extensions, weaves all the time, if you're limiting yourself, that's for these people that these hairstylists that just do natural hair. If you
Mm-hmm.
if you limit yourself, then guess what happens? You can't be able to say, "Hey, let me take a look at your scalp. Let me see what's going on with your hair." You don't even do that. You just getting her in and out because you got 5 other people that you booked on the same time to get them in and out. But if you had that, like you said, that cosmetology license, right, and that education, you would be able to tell them that, listen, you're just not a good candidate right now. You done did hair extensions for the past 6 months. We got to figure out something else that you can do to your hair that requires you wearing your hair out. Otherwise, this is what's going to happen in the near future. So I love the fact that you brought that out. I just wanted to touch on that.
Mm-hmm. Once you tell the client, because she trusts you.
Mm-hmm.
Once you tell her, look, look, Stacy, you can't keep this in for 6 months. Okay, that's not gonna work. Okay, you're gonna have to do X, Y, and Z. Your scalp is in this type of condition. You can't. I don't recommend that you stay in. Okay, well, how long you think I should keep this in? I recommend 30 days max. I understand what's going on with you, but 30 days max. And really, it's you really want to. I really want to tell you this is not an alternative.
Right.
You need to wear your own hair. But I understand you cannot manage your own hair, that this weave is easier for you to manage. So, yes, I do get that. But the
Mm.
reality is you need to be out of this weave. But the client is not at a place where she can manage her own hair, to that level. Like, it's too cumbersome for her to be dealing with on a day-to-day basis. Excuse me. It's easier for her to have the weave in, pull it back in a ponytail, wrap a bonnet on it, put it in the, how they do when the weave is in, they only got to be bothered with the hairline area,
Exactly.
the little leave out, and they
Mhm.
good to go. They don't even know that the texture is two different textures from the nape area to the front. You know what I'm saying? So they just moving.
So let me read. Keisha says, "Hey, ladies, good to see you this evening. Dawn dropping gems as
Hey,
always."
Keisha.
She comes back in and says, "I really don't think we see our scalp as skin." Right. I think
Mhm.
if we hear that over and over again, it might sink in. I don't know. No, because they've been saying it. I thought this mass hair loss going on in our community would um, waking us
What?
up
Mhm.
by now. Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
No, we just switched to something else,
Mm-hmm.
right? We self medicate. We switched to something else. We know all the weaves and extensions and the quick weaves was making our hair come out. Now we switched to the lace fronts. So we're applying the lace fronts, and the young babies who have a hairline area are applying this lace front, which are causing them to lose their hairline. So they're going to be bald and suffering from alopecia when they get of age. So you already see that your mama don't have no hairline based on the bad hair choices or selections of styles.
Mm-hmm.
Now here you go, you know, doing the same thing with your hairline. She started with the braids. We was doing the braids too tight around the hairline area. Remember, we was pinching every little strand around the hairline area, putting all that tension on the hairline area. So it went from the braids to the
Mm-hmm.
quick weave
Mm-hmm.
to now the lace fronts.
Vicious cycle.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Over and over again. Let me see what can. Um, Let me see the next 2 comments, and then Don, you can go to the next video.
Okay.
She says, "I see so many young people doing this." Yeah. And Keisha says, "It is heartbreaking. It
It is.
is
Mm-hmm.
because right, they in that, it's just like, you ever seen somebody do a life of crime, they start out real young. I know a few people where they be like, I ain't get caught.
Right.
Young, when we're young, we're invincible. Your mama be
Right.
like, stay from over at that club, stay from over this spot, because that, honey, that it's trouble over there. You don't
Mm-hmm.
want to listen because our parents too old. She don't know what she talking about. They ain't doing that no more.
Mm-hmm.
And so guess what? We go and do it because we think, and then when we do it, we don't get caught. So
Right.
we're invincible. So it's the same thing when it comes to your hair. A lot of women, and I'm like, some women, I'm like, now she bald headed, she doing the same thing to her child.
Right.
That to me is like crazy. But I guess she's putting her insecurity. A lot of times, mothers, we put our insecurities on the children. They don't even have an insecurity. They probably like their hair. Like we saw a little girl in Africa crying. They put that whole lace front on that baby head. That baby was, I don't even think that baby was 2 years old, y'all. I don't think she was even 2 years old. So a lot of times we're introducing our children to things because of our insecurities. And we think that, oh, I don't want her to feel or him to feel the way I felt. You know what I mean? It's like, no, they're just fine. You know what I mean? And if you see your child is fine with it, then you nurture it, So that's the thing with that. All right, so let's go back. Wait, I'm sorry, Don. Keisha
Hmm.
said, ain't nothing but trouble over there on the other side. Yeah, child, my mom's like, don't go down there now. I done told you, when this street light come on, you better bring your behind home. Child, please. Okay, go ahead, Don.
Um,
Don is doing her thing.
oh
Yes.
my goodness, I can't see nothing on here. I think we did her already.
hmm
Um,
Let me see. Um, see the one that say, oh, you did the 112.
155.
Yeah. Did you do 155? Do
I
her
don't think
155.
so.
Okay.
Respectfully, I want to chime in on the conversation that everybody's having about walk-ins. I love that I have new followers. However, I'm not a fan of your emergency is my urgency. I feel like we think that the black nail techs are supposed to bend over backwards because you guys are now jumping on the bandwagon and feeling like because y'all want to support us now, although we've had clients who supported us for years, that you want to come in our chair today. And it's just not possible. It's unfair for us that you catch an attitude because we're not available today. However, when you go to urgent care, you still have to wait to see a doctor. When you go to the emergency room, you still have to wait to see a doctor. When you go to a general hospital, you still have to wait to see a doctor. And all the good nail techs, they're never available on Saturdays. All the good people are never available same day unless there is a cancellation. However, there's a wait list most times. Even when you go to the Asians, the ones who are the best in the shop, you have to make an appointment to go see them. So please give us patience because it's more people that need to be serviced than there are service providers. So give us patience, have some grace, and we can welcome you into the family efficiently and sit at the same table and we can talk and you can be a part of the family. But if you have attitude and you just on demand and because you go to those people and you sit and wait for hours. I know the Candler Road nail shop, it's people that sit out and stand outside for hours trying to get an appointment. So have that same energy when you want to support your sister, okay? We want y'all, but we want y'all to act accordingly. Act like y'all are our sisters, not like y'all are our enemies.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
What you got to say on that one, Don? I can tell you how I felt about it.
Um, her position is very valid.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because now that we're supporting our own, we want immediate service, but we don't demand the same thing when we go and visit other establishments.
Mm.
And we do hold our own people to a higher standard, but we don't demand it from other people, right? Um, we are a lot more patient, we have a lot more grace with others than we do with our own. And you just ask yourself why. I want to support you, but you know, why are you putting all this pressure on me? Like, and why do you go to the hair salon or have services done if you have something to do,
Right.
right? And I saw a video the other day where the young lady was complaining that, hey, I got my appointment was at 9. The young lady didn't start until 11 o'clock, and now it's going on like I think it was like 4 o'clock, and she just had like the top of her hair done, and the rest wasn't done. And my thing is, why at when she didn't start you
Mm-hmm.
2 hours or that 1 hour, you shouldn't be.
Right.
You should have left. Right? So a lot of times we don't leave, and it's only that one person. That's what happens when you're solo, uno
Right.
duno. Whereas if you go to the other establishment, 5 of us can go in there. They could do a whole bridal party because they have 5 nail techs, right? Whereas if you go into the African American salon, it's only one nail. It's only that one nail tech. She can't do a bridal party. If she
Right.
can, that shuts her down for the whole day. And then how she's gonna eat, she needs to take a break and the whole 9 yards. And this one wants acrylic nails plus French tips plus frosted. And you know how we do. We in the we want the and we aren't as fast as your Asian stylist. So the time you're gonna have more, it's gonna be more time. All
Mhm.
right. Okay, if we are on time, because we're on mostly late.
This is my take on it. I definitely understood what she was saying. I think that we have to remember that our I understood her approach. I understood what she talked about the attitudes, and they like, well, what and you write down. We don't take um the stuff from other race of people that um but we'll give them some slack, but we'll give our people a hard time. That's what they're saying. But I got to play the devil's advocate. um the whole purpose of the person coming into your salon is business.
Right.
I mean, the sisterhood, okay, we all black, but at the end of the day, if I come into your salon, I'm coming for business. So I'm going to expect a certain I'm going to expect a certain time frame. Even if you go into a salon, y'all know I'm big on this. If you're going to book somebody, respect people time. The latest you should be is 15 minutes. Hey, give me 15 minutes. I'm going to finish up with this client, and I got you. But that's a lot of times that's not what's going on. So now when we go to the nail tech, my experience has always been I'm in and I'm out. The longest I sit is maybe 10, 15 minutes, and they're in and they're out. And I think that people were offended when I said follow the blueprint. But what I mean when I say follow the blueprint, what Don was pointing out is the fact that you got one nail tech there, or if you're in a salon or you're in a salon suite, it's only you there,
Right.
right? And you can't handle that. And when you said that, it made me remember, yeah, what happened to the days where a party of 10 women were getting, a woman was getting married and she had a party of 10 women, and they were like, who, I need someone to do the makeup. And we were all as a community of
Hmm.
sisters, hairstylists, and
Hmm.
said, "Oh, girl, you do what kind of hairstyles?" And we doing the consultations, and we're booking them. You know what I'm saying? We're booking them, and everybody collectively is doing something. You know what I mean? Versus now today. So now today, everybody you just want the money for yourself. And you don't want to trust anybody, and you don't want to continue in education, and you don't want to be in a salon, and you don't want nobody to steal your what you do, how your style, your technique. But which is very crazy to me. And Don and I have had this conversation many a times. I don't have Don's DNA. I have Lethra J. Hill DNA. That's all I got. I can do something similar to Don, but it would never
Right.
be Don's. And I think that that is something that we have to understand. So when a client, whether she's a sister or not, you don't make the approach or like you're welcoming. This is the attitude that I'm talking about that a lot of service people have, and it's not professional. This is a don't to me. It's not professional for you to think to say, hey, if you do A, B, and C, I don't have time for your attitude, because I've seen them have attitudes with other race of people. Them people don't care. They may say they do talk about us, but they be getting that work done. Let me hurry up and get her out. Good. But you're not interviewing us You're not interviewing the client and telling her what how she has to be in order for you to service them. You're there to do the service. And if it works out that y'all have a some type of communication and it gets further along, that's fine. Never ever put pleasure or friendship and business. Two separate things. If you cannot approach that and have that type of mindset, oh, this is a new client, how do I, and I got to impress it, let me make sure I got all my stuff clean, let me be prompt, let me be here a little bit early, let me text and say, hey, if you want to come a little bit early, you can come a little bit early. That's what we're looking for. And no, when you go into a nail salon, you don't sit for a long period of time. And no, if you go into a professional salon, diverse, all black professional salon, either or, you don't sit for hours. They don't. So it is the mindset of the stylist or the nail tech that makes the difference. So yes, now that you have all of these sisters that's coming over to you, I say take advantage and say, what other skill set do I need to learn? Now we had the girl last week, Shakila. Is it Shakita or Shakila?
Tequila.
Shakila.
Tequila. Tequila.
She said, I said, why we don't follow the blueprint? And she came, it came down to we don't have the speed. So guess what? Whatever it is, and Don mentioned it again, whatever it is that we don't have, that means that's something you need to master.
Right.
Simple. When I was in a certain salon, when I had to do my color, and when ombre first came out, you had to angle it a certain way, you had to tease it a little bit, and then you had to take that brush and do it. And it was a way that it had to flow. I could not, it took me a little bit to get the flow. I got the flow, but what did I have to do? I had to stay afterwards. I had to take the mannequin out. I had to play with it and keep going until I mastered it. And that's what we have to do. The people that are coming to you, you're not doing them a favor. They're doing you the favor. They're taking their hard-earned money. They're driving past other businesses, other salons to give you the money and hopefully create a relationship that you can keep doing this back and forth transactions. So to me, that's what I got from it, Don. I mean, you know.
What 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 other people have in place that we don't have or we don't put in place, we have yet to put in place,
Mhm.
is they have a system.
Right.
And the system for making money is I need to produce X amount of dollars within the time span that my business is open. Okay. So if I'm open from like the nail salon, I go to they're from 10 to 6 or 9 to 6, right?
Mhm.
Last the first appointment is at 9. Okay. Really not 9 o'clock, but actually they're open, but the first person doesn't get there till like 10 o'clock. So the earliest you can get your nail done is 10 o'clock,
Mhm.
right?
Right.
Last appointment is at 6. Same thing with my lash tech, which I don't have my lashes done anymore. But in order to work for the lash salon, you have to be able to put on a full set of lashes within an hour.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So a full set of lashes, they were running a special. It was like $150 and it was on Groupon. So you were able to book if you got a ticket, from Groupon, you were able to get your lashes done at $75. But
Mhm.
with a coupon from Groupon. Okay. And you were able to get your lashes done at $75, okay, or $150. That's for that hour time slot. Though you had a full set of lashes done within an hour. Now, if you rebook before you leave the salon, before you leave, you get your lashes done for $45 if you rebook during
Mhm.
that time. So actually, you coming out of the door at $200. So
Right.
just imagine 6 technicians at an
Mm.
average of $200 an hour.
Come on, Don. You need
Okay.
you doing a
Um,
class. Hold on. Don't get too much now. Hold on.
so you have just 6 technicians. She had more, but eventually she opened she had like 30 technicians, and then she started training them. She had a 4-week program where you could come in and get a lash certificate, right? And she just had an esthetician license. Okay.
Come
She
on.
has had an esthetician license,
I
and they
love.
had a booking system.
Mm.
Okay, I watched her business grow. I was going there for 5 years. She wanted me to work there. She wanted to open up a little salon part. Okay, I closed my salon down. She was like, "Oh, you could come here and work," and I thought about it, and then I chose not to. But she was all over me, right, trying to befriend me to get me to work in this salon because she knew my value.
Right.
I'm black and she is Hispanic. Okay. She
Mm.
knew my value and she was kissing. When I say kissing up to me, I was like, why is this lady so nice? Why I didn't never
Hmm.
knew she was so friendly. And when I told her no, you saw the real her,
Mm.
right? She was
Mm.
nice and polite, but
You can't use me, so here we
right?
go.
But,
Mhm.
but the way the structure was, of
You
course, I
respect
stayed
it.
for like 6 years. But once you do the math, they were clocking numbers. It was no friendship. It wasn't, I'm this, that, and the next. No, 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 no. You had 1 hour and you could not be late. If you was 15 minutes late, you had to reschedule. Or she would try and find you couldn't go with your technician. You had to go with
Mhm.
another technician. But six technicians, just do the math.
Oh,
Six
man.
technicians at an average of $200 an hour. They were on commission. So they still going home with at $100. You go to wait, who is making $100 an hour putting lashes on?
And when they finish, did they say welcome to the family?
No,
Anybody care about no family? I need
no,
this service done
period.
professionally. Period.
And when I say they were packed,
Uh-huh.
packed.
Packed.
Only thing shut them down was COVID,
So let me tell you what she hit on. She maximized and made sure the skill set was up to par.
right?
Right? She invested in her people. That's why it's good to go to. I keep telling you, she invested in her people. She
Hmm.
created a system.
Hmm.
Right? She created a system, and she started making her money. Y'all, what we talking about? That's why when I see these videos like that one, and I understood what she was saying, that stylist, that nail tech was saying, but nobody comes into business with that mind. You cannot make the money that you want to make with that mindset of, we'll welcome you in the family, but just be nice. And no, 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 no. When you come through these doors, you're going to respect me, I'm going to respect you. That's it.
Hmm.
If anything happens out of that something blossoms, well,
Hmm.
praise the Lord. But if
Hmm.
it does not, that's okay. You came here for what you wanted, you got what you wanted, I got what I wanted, and I created a atmosphere where you can relax and enjoy, have an experience that you will remember and you will come back again. That's all. That's the bottom line. The bottom line is the numbers and that, but it's how people remember how you treat them. And if they coming in your establishment and you're telling them, well, I don't need no attitude and y'all wait. No, 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 no. We don't wait. I don't wait. I go into a high-end salon, black salon. I don't wait. The longest you wait is 15 minutes. It could be some type of hiccup. That's not
Hmm.
every time. So we have to, that's a don't, y'all. That video is a don't. Even though I understood and we do need to have grace with each other, I understand all that's business. This is business. And you have to treat people, even your own people. Don, let's talk about this. And I know y'all can say the same thing. You ever went to a restaurant and it's a black, it's a you got a black waiter or whatever, and they servicing other people and they like, oh yes. Then they go over to your table like, hey girl, and you're like, wait a minute, what you doing? Don't get comfortable. I want the same experience. I want professionalism. You know what
Right.
I mean? I had one waiter came because I like to talk to people, and I'm like, hey, how's your day going? Just I don't look down on people. I don't think people bad. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm better or whatever. You can't even have a conversation. Child, the girl don't came and sat down in the booth. I'm like, nah, you can't make this up.
Not sat
Like,
down.
she done sat down. I'm like, And then I just got quiet. She was like, well, let me get up. I'm like, you shouldn't have never sat down. That is what I'm talking about. I love us. And I'm not saying it's just us because I've seen it with other race, but I'm talking to our people. The sister brotherhood, the family thing, when we're doing business, let's keep it business. If something blossom, great. But at the end of the day, your mindset should not be join the family. We'll welcome you in since now all y'all want to come to the black hairstyle. That should not be your mindset. Your mindset should be, how do I capitalize on this? How do I make more money? How do I expand? How do I get the longevity? How do I keep these clients that are coming? Not the same mindset you had before we start coming to you. No, that ain't work for you. So that's just my take on it. You know, I'm big. I had a friend. We were best friends. I worked in her salon. I always tell this story. Every Friday, I think it was every Friday, that booth rent was not at the end of the evening, in the morning. First thing in the morning, when I walk in the door, and whether she there or not, that money goes into her drawer. She turned around, and one day she said to me, Victor, thank you. But we done went out, we done hung out, we done party. But business is business. Take that hat off. That's my friend. But at the end of the day, she got a business to run. Mm-hmm. So you have stylists that come in there and they get cool with you. And they like, oh, we hung out. And she know I ain't had that many clients. That's not that lady problem. Mm-hmm. That's not the business owner problem. That's your problem. You're in business. So that's why I keep saying a lot of us have to take business courses. Like, we need the education. We're so stuck on the operation, or not the operation, but the craft, the gift, that we, child, please. Don, what Keisha talking about on here? Oh, wait, Don is displaying the videos. Yay, so proud of Don. Keisha says it's an exchange. Oh, Keisha say, I see Coach Lee. I saw Coach Lee shaking her head, child. And the last was yes, honey. I'll be looking. I love it. I love this and this whole boycott thing, but I think we just need to that mindset definitely got to change. You're not doing your clients a favor. We didn't even get through all the videos. Don, you have any more words for it?
Is our time up already?
Girl, it is. It's 2 minutes to 8.
Yeah, we have one more video. What this is in the
Go ahead.
Okay.
Keisha say,
don't learn anything in beauty school. The girl I go to do quick weave, she ain't even got no license. They're going to tell you to quit. They're going to tell you that licensure doesn't matter. They're going to tell you it's not worth your time. Do not allow yourself to be distracted. I need you to stick with it. Your cosmetology education is about a lot more than just getting hours behind the chair. It's really about your sense of commitment to your future clients, your understanding of the role that you play in service to your community, and your willingness to invest into an industry that you expect a return from. Can the beauty industry do more to improve the quality of education for textured hair care professionals? Absolutely. But even pretending that it's okay to unleash someone with no cosmetology education is crazy work. When you commit to being educated in the art of service, paying your dues will always stand head and shoulders above everyone else. Anybody can grab a chair and cosplay like a hairstylist, but at the end of the day, we are not the same. Even they are standing on the shoulders of thousands of professionals that have contributed to this industry and have done the work to earn the right to stand behind that chair. So if you're in cosmetology school, whether you're having a blast or fighting for your life, I get it, but stick with it. I got you.
I know you love that, Don. I said, oh, this is a Don Ferguson video, honey. Go ahead and elaborate, because I know you got so much to say on this, honey. I get them videos at 4 a.m. in the morning from Don, honey.
Education is paramount if you plan on succeeding or evolving in the beauty industry, because the beauty industry is forever changing, right? Every year is something new. That's why they have continued education for stylist, whether it's written or practical, right? In Georgia, you have to actually go in and do hands-on CEs. So Florida, it's a pamphlet in which you use. So there's no pressure in Florida to educate yourself, right? So
So why do you
why do
not
you
want
do
to get
it, right? So if you're already making money, and they say it's money in extensions, but if you look at it, extensions always level off. They may start, or you may be popular for a minute, but they always level off, and they always end up with breakage. All extension wearers eventually are they're suffering from major hair loss. If not now, further on down the road. That's why they're coming in. When they say, "Well, I don't want to be bothered with my hair," it's not a realistic solution to their problem. So when a client comes to you and say, "Well, I want this weave because I really don't want to be bothered with my hair," the conversation should be, "I understand what it is, your challenges with your lifestyle and dealing with your hair, but this is not a healthy alternative for your hair because the end result is going to be dryness, brittle, da 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 da." So I am in the process of restoration, restoring your hair, maintaining your beauty, maintaining your luxury in your hair. So I'm not that type of stylist that will continue to provide these services for you because the end results are breakage. And you know what she's gonna say? "So what you saying? You're not gonna want to do my hair, because I don't want to get any treatments, or I don't want to do such X, Y, and Z." And the answer is no. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you need to invest in treatments in preserving the overall texture of your hair. I'm in the business of preserving your beauty. It's your conversation that you're having with your client. Yeah, yes, I can do the aesthetics and make you beautiful and, give you long, beautiful weave, but I want your hair to look like that. Did you
hmm
know your hair can look like that? If the client knew that her hair can look like that, she would invest in her hair. If she knew she had a stylist that can bring her hair to the level in which the extensions are, she would invest in that because they do. And they
right?
have. I know because I've done this with my client. "Well, Don, I didn't know that you will see the difference in your hair." And they eventually came out of the extensions because they had someone that was doing the work to restore their hair. Right?
Hmm. I want to say this. That's I need the people who are being persuaded to not get their cosmetology license, or
Mm.
you know, I need you to pay attention to how you do your services. A lot, I believe, Don, because you're talking about this, I believe a lot of hairstylists don't push for them to wear natural hair or to teach them about hair care and
'Cause they
the
can't style it.
things, because they can't.
They
They
don't
can't
know anything
style it.
about natural hair. They
They
only
they
know
came.
about the 3 layers weave, 12, 14, 16, 18, 16, 18, 20, 20, 20, 22, 26. That's what
That's
they
it.
know. Yeah.
That's all.
Hmm.
And so you're not going to push for that client to better herself. And the reason why is because you have restricted and limited yourself to, I do natural hair. I can do weave that you can have this in for 6 months. That's what you've reduced yourself to. So like Don said, it caps eventually that it's not really a moneymaker.
Mm-mm.
It's not, because those are the things. Why would you limit yourself? And so I'm just adding on to what Don is saying. I'm Don. It's some truth to that, and I loved it. I knew you was gonna love this video. I love the video because she spoke to the realities that a lot of you play games with. It's like, well, I know how to braid hair. That's all I want to do is braid hair. I get it. I don't want to do feet. I'm a licensed cosmetologist. I can be an esthetician. I can do nails. I can do anything up under that umbrella. But do I choose to do it? No. But if you choose to do hair, why would you limit yourself to just braiding hair? Why would you limit yourself to just this one thing? It's either you're scared of the success or you don't really have a desire to do hair. And if that's the case, you really need to get out the game. But for those of you that are pushing them and saying all you got to do is an hour and you're licensed, you're a limited license. That means you have capped your money up. You have capped your money. It's only so much hair you can do within a day. It's only so much braiding you can do. It's only so much quickly as you can do in a day till your body start breaking down. You have to figure out something else. Let me read off what Keisha over here. You know she's something else. Don doing sound effects too. Wait night. Wait night. She's showing out. Oh, she said you showing out, Don. She also says my stylist told me the other day that her in Alabama they just overturned the law requiring braiders to have a specialty license. She said it's making people less motivated to get licensed and do hair. Then that wasn't their desire. I'm gonna tell. That's like that's not your thing. That's not. You're in it for money, and you can't get into this industry for money. If it's
Right.
discouraging you from that, I was hungry. They said I had to do 1,200 hours. It's people that have to do 1,200 hours. They have to work. They have to go to school. They got kids. They have husbands. They got everything, and they get it done. We buy whatever we love. Whatever we love, we buy it. You understand what I'm saying? So if it's discouraging you, then you may need to check yourself and say, hey, if you don't want to jump through the hoop, I'll jump through any hoop. I'm so excited. I'm about to start some continuing education. I'm so excited, y'all. Y'all have no idea. I'm every day, I'm like thinking like, oh my God, what am I going to learn? Because I still love the hair world. Now, do I like being behind a chair? No. But I love the hair world. I love um aesthetics. I love beauty. I love learning about the chemical and understanding the biology behind it because I love being a hairstylist. So if they're putting requirements which they should have, because the natural hair people ran rampant and just was destroying a lot of people. So if they're putting those stipulations and you feel like that ain't for you, they making it harder, that's probably not your desire. That's not something you want to do for a long time. All right. So she said, oh, wait, okay. So at the house, I don't know. I guess she's saying like now the people are starting to do it at the house. Yeah, they go back there because that's where you should be.
Did you know that the beauty industry is one of the few industries that you can actually make $1 million?
Mm,
And that's why you have so many people that jump into, doing hair, doing nails, doing lashes, because the beauty industry is so lucrative,
mm,
but no one actually capitalizes on how to make money from the beauty industry except the nail tech. The nail tech is 1 hour. They're doing 1 hour.
right.
Your business structure or module should be based on 1 hour. You need to implement services that will take 1 hour, 45 minutes to do. So that's why you have the blow dry bars, because everybody need a blow dry, right?
Right.
So the blow dry, you going in at $55, which is going to take what? 55 minutes,
That's right. $1 for every minute.
right? So, excuse me, you're still at 50, you still at almost $100 an hour, because you really can't, if you have somebody 9 times out of 10 at the blow dry bar, they have a shampoo person. They have a receptionist. So they're pushing people, they're pulling people in by volume.
They got to sit.
$75, right? $75 for a blow dry. That's the average cost that women are paying for a blow dry, which is less than an hour. They're out of there and off to dinner in less than an hour. So if you're doing beauty services that are taking longer than an hour, this is why you are losing. This is why you're burnt out. This is why you don't have time to enjoy your house, right? You don't have time to enjoy your ride. You don't have time to enjoy your family because you are doing services that take you 2, 3, 4 hours to do.
It's
Braids.
not worth it.
Braids are an all day thing. It's at least 8 hours. For how much? $214? You might
No,
as well go to Dunkin' Donuts
I
at
saw a girl.
$15 an
No,
hour.
no, 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 Don. I
No?
saw a girl talking about boho braids, $50. I said, you can't make this up.
Okay.
You
And
can't.
then you wonder why we're arguing, why it's so much
Right.
ignorance, why people are stealing, why people are aggravated because the lady just tired. She tired. She been sitting there all day for $250. She like, oh, this all that's left. She got this little corner in the top of her head, and she's like, oh my god, for her to do this little piece right here. I'm not gonna be here. I'm gonna be here until 12 o'clock tonight. It took her all day to get boho braids, so that's why she leave them in all month. That's why she leave them in for 2, 3 months.
Right.
It took her so
Right.
long to do them. So when you charge, you are not charging your worth. You are not charging your value. It is no value in that. So this is why you end up with all these crazy results, all this arguing in the salon, all these people frustrated and leaving because the price doesn't match the time. So you have a sewer of issues that stem from this price point.
Don,
That,
remember the first video? She was explaining tips, and she
yes.
was saying back into slavery, a lot of clients, approach the industry and approach us with the same mindset. They slaves. They'll work for anything.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of you conduct your business as
Mm-hmm.
slaves. So that's a part of the bickering.
Yeah.
No one sees the value in each other. The hairstylists don't see the value and the nail techs don't see the value in the clients, and the clients don't see the value in you. That's why they can tell you. It was a girl. She posted. I think she paid $250, and she got a number of services.
You might as well got a
And
move. Could you imagine
it,
braids, a ball braid for
I
$250?
couldn't even
That's
imagine.
that's 8 hours. It's
No, ma'am. Wait,
low
wait.
value. Low
Let me
value.
let me look at that. What you said? 8 hours at 250. I just want to see what that looked like.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is that
And it's a little longer than 8 hours because they're in there because that would be 8 to 8. That's 12 hours.
okay. So with 8 hours is $31.25, and then with what was it? 250 for 12 divided by. Oh, hold on. $20.83. No, ma'am. If
Mm-hmm.
I gotta work for $20.83, and then if I gotta work for that, I might as well go on clock on in somebody else's job. I'm not an entrepreneur. You're not an entrepreneur.
And you're
You can't.
standing, your body takes a toll. That's why so many of us are sick,
Mhm.
unhealthy, bad body, can't walk. Because I know you eating some chicken wings in between doing them braids because I've seen it done in the salon. Them chicks they be putting they be putting the scrunches in their hair, doing finger waves, and having a chicken and
Girl,
biscuit sandwich.
you got chicken
Okay.
grease all up in there, all up in that
Right.
thing.
Your hair smelling like fried chicken because it's a real thing. I've seen it in the salon. That chick be sitting right there eating because she have a lineup of clients. And it's always those clients those stylists that have cheap services. I used to work down south and they were known for having cheap services. And the stylists were, that was their community. So this is the price point, and I stayed busy because this was the price point. But when I said the body and their health was toe up from the flow up.
But then we'll
It-
travel over to another country and get your body done. Um, I want to say this, and I said this before, and you can take it how you want to take it. I see so many videos about arguing about prices and oh, it don't cost that much to do such and such. That is why I'm gonna be honest. A lot of us, when we start up in those diverse places because we have to be able to see something to believe that it's possible to make the kind of money that we came into the industry to make. So we have to go into a diverse place because you see other race people that don't, nobody's arguing with them about a blow dry. If your hair is a certain length, a blow dry can come down to 120, 150. You guys are talking about braids for 150. A
I've
blow
never
dry.
seen a video where Caucasians are having a discussion about someone not paying for services. I only see
No,
that in the
in
community,
our
in
in
the
our
Black community. I have yet to see a video where we are discussing prices and the client is saying, "I'm not paying for that. I don't want that. You told me this price and it's a different price." They're not snatching off wigs. They're not snatching, they're not locking the door so people don't leave.
they're
It's
not
like
cutting out braids.
it's like we are the only community that's going through this type of ridiculous antics. It's like it's so absurd, which tells you the level of ignorance.
And and you know how true that is, Don. I remember I started working in my another one of my girlfriends. She had a salon that now Tay can slay some hair. Now every time Tay can slay. That's all I always say that. That girl don't leave not one strand out. That she's very meticulous.
Hmm.
But I remember when I started working in her salon, all she did was weaves, right? Quick weaves and all that
Hmm.
stuff. And she would say, she did ponytails and stuff, but she said, Lee, they want their hair colored. Okay, send them over. Oh, you the girl that work in the white salons? How much you gonna charge for the color? The mindset is already, I'm like, what the heck? What? This is how much a demi is. This is how much a wrench. Oh, you want to take that? You want that color? So you okay? You want to, you want a permanent color? Okay, this is the process. This is how much it's gonna be. I don't know about all that. I don't. Sweetie, please go sit over there on the couch. I'm not, you know what I mean? And to the point where I say, you know what, I can't work it because the vibration, the mindset, I can't even really be in that. And it's not because I think that I'm better. I just cannot be around someone that has such a low vibration. It brings you down and you don't really pay attention to it. And you're just in a room full of negative people that don't really want to go anywhere in life. That's how I look at it. So, Don, you reading what Keisha said? You got it.
I gotta put my eyes on. Oh,
All right.
we have a lot to relearn when it comes to our identity. It's very true. We our identity, our value is in our identity, and our identity is lost because we don't know who we are. So we're trying to find value and we're placing value in material things and aesthetic looks, right? If I have this long hair in my head, 22, 26, 24, I'm beautiful. As opposed to if I go and shampoo, condition, and style my own natural hair, I am just as beautiful.
Mm,
So we tend to look at the aesthetics as more beautiful than we are on a whole. We don't see ourselves as beautiful when it comes to our natural hair. We don't see ourselves as valuable when wearing our natural hair. We feel more valuable when we have on aesthetics, i.e., name brand. I feel more empowered when I am in a Mercedes as opposed to me being in a Honda. Whereas The person in the Honda could be way more wealthy, right?
Mm,
So it's always a level up with no sustainability. You rise with no sustainability. That's why you fall and crash and burn because there's nothing there. You just uh put the stick in the bubble and you blow and then it goes so far up and then it just pops. It just
mm,
dissipates. You know what I mean? Because it
mm,
has no substance. It's just soap and water. So we need to add some form of, we need to go back to our roots.
mm,
Who are we? We have to love ourselves as we are, as we see ourselves in the mirror. And it's not changing the outer interior, it's changing the inner interior. Beauty is from within. So what we see on the outside is you need to feed the inside in terms of healthy eating, exercising, taking care of your own hair before you lose your hair. It's like, oh my goodness, all my hair is gone. Well, what'd you expect if you kept putting in the lace fronts or you kept putting in the quick weave? You put the stocking cap, then you put the glue, and then you put the paper, and then you put the stocking cap. You just smothered the follicle. So that's why you're losing your hair. The science doesn't support the style. And this is how you know it's a low vibration hairstyle because you're going to end up losing your hair in the end. The foundation has no structure to support your natural hair. All hairstyles are to protect your natural hair. If the stylist is not giving you a hairstyle that protects and preserve your natural hair, they are not doing their job.
mhm.
You're paying to be abused.
Don, I saw an instructor. She was so proud too. I was like, I said, let me just sit back. She had took them, you know, with the wrap, like, you know, to mold the hair. Girl, she
Mhm.
took that lady hair, she spritzed that thing down, pulled that thing in a ponytail, pulled that thing, flatten it out, and just put that wrapping paper on it. Sealed it on, and she put that stuff on it. And said, mm. She said, "Now this is the technique. Now right here, I'm gonna show you how to do a pixie cut." Girl, she took that glue, and she was talking, and she was. I said, I mean, loud and wrong.
Right.
Late now, when she finished, the lady her hair was really nice. Now
Mhm.
let me just start you off. The hairline was already back here.
Right.
I said, "What we doing?"
Right.
But when they finished, they were like, "Oh my God!" I said, "Let me read the comments, girl. You got to do my hair like that." And I said, "There we go. This is
Mhm.
an instructor. This is a licensed cosmetologist.
Mhm.
So we just not battling with, you know what I'm saying, just the clients and all that stuff. We are within ourselves. We have to, and it's not a lot of us. I'm gonna tell y'all this. Just as many, I always say this, many people that you hear me and Don talk about the bad practices, we probably have 10 times or 100 times more better professional hairstylists. They're not on social media. They just making their money and making their clients happy, and they got relationships with their clients for 20, 30, so even 50 years. We have those. So I don't want the everyone to think that, oh God, the black, people, but black women or the black hairstylists, this was going on, they bad practice. No, 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 no. But we got to point you guys out because it's looking like when you got one bad apple, it's spoiling the whole bunch. That's what's going on. And we have to talk about it because we don't talk about it because social media is everywhere. If we don't talk about it, then you're going to be misled. Like that lady that instructor, I promise you, she just knew she was doing everything correct. I covered the hair, but where the hair follicle, how the hair follicle going to breathe? What does she work out? What does the client do? Do you think about that? So she's gonna be sweating in her hair, right? How, and then she was putting it on the way she was putting on. That's another thing. They put that tracks on real tight. They think because they
Mhm.
gluing it, it's pulling it.
Mhm.
And I was like, man, we got this is beauty pioneers, y'all.
Right.
Beauty pioneers, we not here to bash, we here to enlighten and educate. This is what this channel is about. That's probably why you'll never see which way we coming when we come on when we do these lives, because we just go by what's pressing on our heart, what we see in our community, and we're gonna teach on it. You know what I mean? There's not no, just aesthetics. And let me finish it on out, y'all. Keisha says she right. You may as well be down at Dunkin' Donuts. That would be good for your niece who is just starting out, or that's high school. I'm trying to remember what that was about. And Keisha says it's a poverty mindset, Coach Lee. Them folks was trying to make you broke. I got on out of there, honey. Don't worry about it. I don't have no problem with that. I appreciate that. Man, Don, you about to put them preachers out of business. You done dropped the mic.
Oh,
Oh, wait, let me. I wonder we got something for the drop the mic,
what I'm
Don.
talking about.
You found it. You see, we got drop the mic. I don't hear no drop the mic. Wait, we can do the drum roll. It's more sounds, child. I don't know, but hey, it is what it is, y'all.
Drop the mic. Is that it?
That's it. I like that one. What's that one? What that one was, Don? That's the
That's the gong.
the gong. Oh
I like
gosh,
that. I don't
yes,
know
and
how this
Keisha.
showed up on here,
I
but
just
it's
love the fact that you're doing it. So now I know what to do. So you can do Dawn's gonna be doing on Beauty Pioneers, guys. Look forward to her doing her makeup. I don't know if you're doing tutorials. Well, she's doing education on her makeup.
yes
So
on my
guys,
power pack.
yes, look at the makeup, y'all. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like
Oh, okay.
mhm.
Beautiful, bright, vibrant colors. I love those colors. Those are the colors that I like to use on a everyday basis.
Yes,
Real nice.
it produces a soft and bold glam. I was trying to figure out what I was going to call her, so I was talking to my daughter, and I said I think the name would be the Power Palette.
I like that.
Yes, the Power Palette. It
It's
empowers you to be beautiful. It gives you every single thing that you need in
mhm,
terms of creating your look. These are my blushes here, the burnt
mhm,
orange, your loud pink. This is your soft pale pink, bright pink,
mhm.
and like your taupe. And these are your
Yeah.
shimmers. So your gold, your bronzing, your gold shimmer, and your pink
Mhm.
shimmer right here, which goes on the top. And of course, your smoky eye. I
Uh-oh.
don't know if you can see that. So
I
these
see
are
them.
your, yeah, it gives you your smoky eye, which gives you your full palette. So I'm excited. I have some models coming up this weekend that I can put it on. So I'm excited about that. I'm wearing
And
some little blush right now.
those are that's Dawn Cosmetics. Is that correct, dear?
Yes,
All
yes.
right.
These are all of the my colors that I sold out of. So as an artist, these were all individual packets and I sold all out of them. So in order to reorder, I asked them to put them in this power palette for me. Thank you.
We also you also have the event that's coming up, and we right here at it. We got a few
Yes, we're here.
couple of weeks. Yeah.
July 17th through the 20th, our beauty retreat. Coach Lee is we're doing some power makeovers with models in the makeup, in the palette. So I'm excited.
And I'm excited because
Oh,
I
at the
do want to do
PGA.
it. Yeah, at the PGA, the black that's a black. It's a black hotel, right?
Yes, black owned by Sheila Johnson. So yeah.
What are they doing? Wait a minute.
What's that?
Y'all, they done messed up and they done gave we got some sound effects. Don not gonna be playing on this. That's the only reason why we ain't want to get off yet. Anyway, we want to thank you. Okay, well, real quick, let me read Keisha thing and then we're gonna go on off. She was talking about the $200 boho braids. Oh, the 8 hours. Right. Okay. Thank you. And then she says, yes, Dawn, I believe she is talking about your makeup.
Mm,
She
thank you.
says, oh yeah, beautiful name. Talking about the makeup that you said we're talking about.
Thanks, Keisha.
And then thank you, Keisha. Keisha
Thank
says,
you.
so proud of you
We
ladies.
push.
We're gonna
We pushing. I'm
hey.
pushing.
So guys, we want to thank you for tuning in. Now, next week, Sunday, Lord's will, we will be here Sunday, but we may not because I have some things that some changes that are going on that I have to take care of. So I may not be on. Don, you know, you could do it on your own if you want to now.
Oh no, honey, I don't know how to work this thing.
So if you don't see us, I normally pop and post that we're coming on live. If you don't see that, that means we're definitely not won't be able to come on next Sunday, but we will be the following Sunday, and we got some explosive, great content that's coming out. We're now doing, you know, inviting people onto our show. So please support, share, like, subscribe. We appreciate and we love you guys. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, everyone.
Bye bye. Take
Smooches.
care.